Okay, so this video has some spoiler alerts about the movie Longlegs. If you haven't seen it yet, there are spoiler alerts here. Now, moving on. Okay, this is our review of Longlegs. She didn't really like it.
Well, we want to go and see it, and you're like, "Are you ready?"
I built it up a lot.
It's a horror, and so I actually Googled it, like I Google everything, and watched the trailer, and so I had some expectations.
I watched the trailer too, and I had
you
some
did?
expectations.
So I was ready for it because I felt like, okay, I've seen the imagery, the aesthetics. I am sort of prepared that way. But still, I guess, yeah, I don't know if I would have liked it better if I didn't know anything about it. I might have not liked it as much because I thought there'd be more to it.
Yeah, I have to say, watching the preview, I expected there to be more mythology there and more. I thought there would be like a creature. Like in the preview that I saw, there was the shadow of the long legs. And that was the scene that I never actually saw in the movie. Like, I don't feel like that scene showed up in the movie, the one that was in the trailer. And so, even just that, it was like, where is this creature? Where's the mythology? Who has the long legs? Obviously, in the first scene, Nicolas Cage shows up. He's like, I'm wearing my long legs. And then he shrinks down, apparently.
Right, yeah. So that was,
That's all we got
yeah.
of long legs.
And then all the symbols that you see in the trailer, I kind of thought there would be more focus on that, more, more about their meaning, more about like the process of discovery, kind of like the Zodiac killers. So yeah, I just thought there would be more of a story. I guess they were just going for like, what did you say when the devil knocks? You answer. So it's I guess a terrifying part of it is like your mom would do anything to keep you safe, and the devil you could be living with the devil and not know it your entire life. And I guess that's kind of the scary thing, because how mundane it could be.
Yeah, it could be so mundane and so simple that it's like, in that situation, the mother, of course, had to respond because the devil knocked on her door. And what choice would you make as a parent? Of course, you would choose to save your child. So there was no choice for the mother. There was no choice at all. The choice was for her and her daughter to burn in hell and twist.
Which is how she described it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or for the mother to take on this role and to be the one to facilitate the devil's wishes, the devil's plans. So it was a creepy movie. I did like it. I liked it overall, but it wasn't what I was expecting. Based on the trailer, I thought there was going to be a creature. I thought it was going to be long legs. I thought there was going to be some mythology there. And instead, it was just straight Satanism. In the end, you're sitting in the movie theater, and 2 times in a row, Nicolas Cage is like, praise Satan, and it's like, that's what I came here for? I was a little disappointed in that.
There's a lot of satanic references in the world right now too. And I guess the other thing that popped up when you were just talking is like, there's no limit to a mother's love and what they will do, but it also reflects like, white lies, like how much our parents lie to us out of protection because
protect
she
us, yeah.
kept asking Lee Harker if she says her prayers.
Yeah.
And then finally, when Lee's at her mom's house and that came up, Lee's mom asks her, do you say your prayers? And then she finally fessed up and said, no, I don't. They don't work or something.
The mother said they don't work.
Well, yeah, and then the mother's like, that is true. They do nothing, basically. So I guess we should have said spoiler alert, but yeah, hey.
Yeah, spoiler alert. We'll edit that in earlier. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so I guess there's like kind of those questions of like how much mothers lie, and that gets passed on as mythology or as
She always spoils.
we already said spoiler alert. So I thought that was quite interesting that just popped up because yeah. But I thought Nicolas Cage was pretty good in his role.
He was brilliant in his role.
Like
The
just how he
acting was
used his
incredible.
voice and
Yeah.
the way he sang and the prosthetics they used
Oh, yeah.
reshaped his face to kind of like
Oh, it's worth seeing. It's
Yeah.
so worth seeing. But you have to leave your expectations at the door.
yeah. And
It's
if
not-
you
it's not
if
what
you're
you
scared
think,
of
yeah.
dolls, spoiler alert. Dolls have always creeped me out, but like these are like pretty big life-size dolls for 9-year-olds,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. And I just realized, like, I think the mother
dolls
was
themselves weren't too creepy. It's more the idea behind them.
no, they were pretty creepy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're kind of creepy.
Because
but
remember,
they don't do anything.
They
just
did.
sit
They
there.
totally did. When they found the first doll, the eyes popped open.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like that is like the ultimate
There's
scary.
a presence within. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ultimate scary doll thing. It
Yeah.
just for
It's
no reason
actually-
the eyes pop open.
It's a very complex movie, and this is why we're talking about it, and
We're
we're
still
curious to hear other
processing.
people's feedback. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are still processing. There's a lot to process. There's a lot to look at here. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and I guess it was like it's a retro movie. It goes back to I guess when was Clinton president? Because there was a picture of Clinton in the FBI
Oh,
office.
that's right. Yeah.
But it's like
In
a
the 90s,
70s.
yeah.
But it felt more like 70s. You know what I mean? Like
I
so I
guess
was very
I guess it
confused.
was early '90s. Is what it was. Yeah. But of course,
I
there would
don't-
be vehicles from that era.
Yeah.
Still, you know.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess okay. Yeah. So
I would have thought
okay,
based
yeah.
on the vehicles, but
Right,
the
right.
picture of Simpson or Clinton is what.
no,
you
I think
indicated.
it's because it's present day and it's in the 90s because Lee Harker is probably in her 20s, and it's actually the story starts in
in the 70s, but it
70s.
takes place in the 90s.
Yeah, because remember all the remember the ski jacket she was wearing,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
winter jacket. We all had those stripes
Oh yeah.
jackets, and so it has a very kind of retro feel to it. Even the 90s was pretty retro feel, and I was thinking like I wore turtlenecks and a blazer in the 90s. It was very much like the style at that time, so it was pretty funny. But it kind of has that Zodiac Killer movie feeling, and some people said like Silence of the Lamb maybe because she's an FBI agent,
Yeah.
kind of,
And the serial killer. Yeah.
and the serial killer, and it just kind of like interesting because it made some commentary about the times that we at that time where you know, like everything is sort of procedural now. You have to tick all the boxes. You have to sign in, all that. And at one point,
You didn't have to.
yeah, they're like,
They weren't even checking IDs.
yeah, so they were trying to figure
At
out
the
who
mental
visited
institute,
the
yeah.
mental institution, and the director, I guess, was like, well, that would make sense, but yeah, we don't do that. But now we do a lot of things, but it still doesn't make sense. Perhaps less sense. Well, sloped roofs don't make sense.
Yeah, you read my mind because I was thinking, we're making this review right now. We're talking about it, and there was,
I saw a funny
today's the
meme.
17th.
Yeah, I saw a
It's like
funny meme.
17th
Someone put
of
like, "Mark
July,
safe from
right
sloped
after
ceilings."
the assassination attempt. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Interesting times. I don't know what to make of it.
Well, I guess that's why we would be interested in feedback, because essentially what we're interested in is just talking about what the hell is going on today. And we like movies. We can talk about movies. We'll review these things. But overall, like, are we living in a movie? What WTF is going on in this time? And we're curious to connect with other people that, have some input and have some insight as to what they feel is going on, and can we figure this out? Can we figure it out? I don't know.
Yeah, I think right now it makes a difference. Makes more difference. It feels like to have community, to not build silos, but have community where you actually have honest exchange of like just realness.
What is real? And it's like concepts and ideas and the collective. So all of us together, we influence, and we can influence, the realm, the world that we live in. And so let's at least start talking so that we can come to some understandings. And the more perspectives we have, like the greater overall perspective we have. So I think that's what I'm interested in. Is I'm interested in getting to, like Alex says, the truth here and what's really going on. And what can we do? What can we do about it? How can we navigate this? I think we're all tired of the way things have been done and the way the system is run. And so, let's do something new and something different. And how do we do that? Well, the first step is just to start talking about it, start figuring it
Like
out.
really talking, not talking to convince other people, because I think,
it's not about left and right. It's about like a whole new way.
Yeah. Well, and also we're all designed to see in a specific way. No one can see the entire truth. So if we start talking and just respecting someone's experience and having that as a point of view to consider, to add to our own perspective, then we get to see more of
a broader picture.
Broader picture. Yeah. And I think that's I think that's really important right now, especially with AI and especially with bots and everything. You don't really know if who you're talking to are actually real, or just a program or algorithm or whatever. And I think that's going to be even harder to discern with our minds, especially in these coming years.
Yeah, what is real? So give us your feedback. We're interested. We want to hear your perspective. And let's start from here. Let's start a conversation.
And if you saw LongLegs, we'd love to hear your perspective, because we actually like watching movies several times. We pick up things each time.
do, yeah.
You know, what was that movie that we loved and we saw it so many times? The alien, the horses.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but yeah.
Yeah.
You put me on the spot. Never works.
Yeah, that movie. Nope. We loved it the first time, but we probably saw it like.
We really loved it the 7th time.
Yeah, and we saw so much more the 8th time. Let's just say, you know. So I'm sure we'll probably watch LongLegs again and see what else we see. But we've only seen it
Yeah,
one.
so
one
far
time.
all we've really gotten out of it is like this Hollywood satanic message, which I'm so tired of. It's so boring. It's so boring. Come on, I mean, seriously, that's an insult. If you're making movies and they're that boring, we need some new ideas.
Yeah, and we just sat through like beforehand.
They're just remaking the same old
we
bullshit
saw
ideas.
a trailer for Twister. You know.
Yeah, and Time Bandits. Like, I'm excited. I'm probably gonna watch it, but come on.
Yeah.
Like, is there really no creative minds out there that writing new material, or they're just not being supported? It's a little bit offensive.
Yeah.
It's a lot offensive.
Although you love the latest Planet of the Apes, and I think that's what, the 7th?
I love it. Yeah, you know, on a scale of 10, it's a 5 or a 6. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't I wouldn't put it up there as like one of my favorite movies, for instance.
Okay, so I think we're going to sign off on this one. And
You don't want to give a list of our favorite movies?
oh, our favorite movies? I don't know what my favorite movies would be. I definitely have some. I think nothing really comes to mind. I mean, there are some important movies, as in like they were milestones. They marked milestones in my life. You know, like the stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, so there were those. Yeah. There were some beautifully filmed movies.
Yeah. The only one I'll throw out there is my favorite zombie movie, 28 Days Later.
So we're looking forward to the 28 years later.
We are looking forward to it. But
Yeah.
Civil War, sorry, we were pretty disappointed.
Yeah, I think it's easier to.
There could have been so much more to the story. It just was so bare bones in the writing. And yeah, anyways.
I don't know. Nothing really comes to mind. You know, like there were things that were kind of like first of its kind for us, obviously not going all the way back. Like things like The Usual Suspects was interesting because there was a swap, you know, but then everything came to be like there's a twist, so you expect it to have a twist.
That's super old school, though.
Yeah, well, yes.
A lot of people wouldn't even have been born when that movie came out. Which is fine.
Yeah.
But that's a good one. You should watch it.
Yeah, there were just, you know, things that were very, like they were milestones, like I said, you know, 16 Candle, Breakfast Club, you know, like we are Gen X, so.
Yeah. We're basically having two different conversations. She's like milestone movies. I'm like my favorites, 28 Days Later, horror movies, Cabin in the Woods.
I guess I don't really, no favorites are coming to mind, you know, like.
It's okay.
I think if you name some, maybe I can like figure out.
Yeah, you'd respond if I named some, but
yeah, probably. Because I also have kind of an abstract mind. I don't really remember names very well necessarily, so yeah.
So we'd probably have to cut off at this point. You were cutting off already, but I'm the one that brought us into the abstract zone.
Okay, so we're going to sign off on this first live. Well, we don't have enough subscribers to do live, so hopefully you guys will just subscribe.
We need 50
and then
subscribers,
we can do
and
more
we
live.
have 0.
Well, we have more than 0. Our family has subscribed.
7.
So basically, like your family. So if you want to subscribe, we'd love to do more lives, and just so we can have a real conversation.
Yeah,
with
we
you
just
guys
want to
live.
interact with you guys live. We want to interact and we want to have some conversations about life. But we can talk about movies. We can talk about, I've got lots of Sasquatch experiences to talk about. We got stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we're
Interesting
editing.
stories. Sharks. You want to hear about sharks? I can tell you some shark stories.
Well, we're
surfing.
editing some interview.
Oh, some
one
good
interview.
Native
Yeah.
American interviews. One in particular.
Yeah. Who had
Well,
real
just one,
life
but it's
Sasquatch
epic.
encounters, and yeah, and just your own.
We've got stories. We've lived interesting lives. So let's talk about it.
Okay, we're going to post this unedited. Just a little daunting. You know, you always think like, what should be our first video? What should be our first? It should be like, you know, but we're just going for it, and we're going to just post this one. We'll let people know about the spoiler alert though.
Okay. Thanks for listening in. Aloha.
Aloha.